Okay, Manisha.
Yeah.
So you booked your practical driving test, and we already done all subject.
Yeah.
And on the test day, I give you some tips. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So on the beginning of the driving test, examiner will see you after meet and greet, and then he will ask you to produce your driving license, and then he will ask you, are you living in the same address? If you're living, yes, of course, you have to say yes. Okay, and then he will check your eyes to ask you number plate, read the number plate around from 20 meters away, and then examiner will introduce, and then he will tell you the whole process. Like your driving test will be 35 to 40 minutes, and he will ask you one reverse maneuver randomly from bay parking, parallel park, and pull up on the right, and route 2 car length reverse. From all three randomly, examiner will choose one.
Okay.
So he may ask you emergency stop exercises, 50-50 chances. Okay, and when you start here in he will ask you one tell me questions on the before you start the engine, and then when you start driving. So after a few minutes, or maybe after 10-15 minutes, or after the half of the test, so then on the move he will ask you show me question, rest of that. When I said to this, so tip number one, if he asks you show me question on the move, that time you can think that up to now you are passed. Okay, so you don't worry about before, and then worry about next, and then you don't make any more serious fault after that. Okay. If you are in your mind, you doubt, if you think, oh my god, I was wrong on the roundabout, but he will still, examiner still ask you show me question, that mean that was maybe minor, but you're thinking serious, don't worry about that. Another thing, if examiner ask any maneuver on the move, like by the half of the test approximately, if examiner ask any maneuver, so and then you have to think that up to now you are passed. So and if he asks again emergency stop exercise, for example, then you can think that yes, up to now I'm passed. Okay, and I'll give you some tips now again, another one. So when you're driving, so you need to, when you're driving in the narrow roads, so some parked vehicle there, so make sure your adequate clearance should be from the left hand side, should be one door width. So you can drive through if it's less than one door width, if in case according to the road situation when traffic is not moving too much and then slowly. So then if you're too close, and then you should attention your side door wing, and then so your speed should be too slow as well. Okay, less than one first gear. Okay, so mostly if it's more than first gear speed, one door with left or right hand side clearance. And then when you're driving on the narrow road, so you need to expect any meeting oncoming traffic on there, could be meeting situations, and then you need to be ready to use that one. If you go through some stop sign, so when you see stop sign, octagon shape and red background, and then stop line on the head, at the end as well, so your solid white line, so you must have to wait at least 3 seconds on there. 2 to 3 seconds. Your wheel should be completely stopped. So you may use the handbrake, but in this car we have automatic handbrake. Okay, and and also when you approaching from minor to main road, if your junctions are closed, so on the closed junction, so must be first gear is like good gear for that, because you have good time to observe everywhere. And then if any parked vehicle obstructing your vision, so remember, use the creep and creep method, remember that one? Okay. And also when road is clear, you need to build up your speed up to 30. If it's 30 mile per hour speed zone, up to 30 mile, in between 27 to 30 is fine. If you lower the speed unnecessary where you can but you can't, so that means that could be serious fault in the driving test. Okay. So, and also you can drive slowly according to the traffic, according to road condition, that is different thing. When you're approaching any junction, don't try to build up that time, so then gradually slow down your approach. If you're approaching any roundabout, don't think all roundabout are same. So every roundabout could be different. Okay, so listen, examiner very carefully. Sometimes examiner can say, okay, at the next roundabout, third exit straight ahead, please. So you don't think third exit on the right only, so it could be straight ahead. Examiner may say, Okay, the next roundabout, so second exit right, please.
Okay.
So you don't think second exit always straight.
Yeah.
Okay, we remember this thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, examiner will ask you independent driving with the navigation. So when you using the navigation every 3 to 5 seconds, you should glance on the navigation. Also, just after the complete the turn, glance on the navigation.
Okay.
Glance that diagram on the navigation.
Yeah.
So maybe your next turn is immediate left or right hand side. You can miss it.
See it, yeah.
Okay, so don't believe the navigation speed.
Yeah.
Sometimes road speed limit displaying on the navigation, and then you don't believe on that.
Yeah.
So you need to believe on the traffic signs on the road.
Yeah.
Could be different speed on the navigation from the signs. Yeah. So let's say if you miss the exit, if a navigation asks you to turn left first road, but you miss the first road,
Yeah.
so you thinking of second road for turning. Yeah, if you thinking like that. Well, so if you miss the route but you don't have any driving fault, you don't worry about that.
Okay.
So another example, if examiner asks you fourth exit turn right, oh sorry, if navigation asks you, yeah, or navigation or examiner will ask you turn right fourth exit, so by mistake you going third exit with good position without any errors, so you don't worry about that.
Okay.
On that time examiner will tell you, okay Manisha, you out of from the route, I will get you back on the track. Okay. Yeah. And so while you're reversing in the driving test, and then make sure after the key switch off the engine, please. After start the after reverse gear, you should start your observation. I advise from safety to danger. So from right to left would be fine while you're reversing. So start from the right blind spot and then finish on the left shoulder. On the left blind spot, look through the rear windscreen while you just start reversing. Okay. So every 2-3 seconds, around about every 3 seconds, you should glance on the right blind spot while you're reversing. So if you're using correctly reference points and then use the correct amount of the steering wheel which you learned, so you don't worry about any maneuver.
Okay.
So if you yeah, it's depend on you actually. Yeah,
it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, and when you're driving on the dual carriageway, so your normal driving lane is left and right hand side lane purposes only for if you want to overtaking or if you're turning right, or if your lane is closed, maybe bus is on the left side, if you want to overtake, then you can use the right. If you overtaking someone else, yes, after overtook, so you should come back as soon as possible, but safely with the good calf. Yeah. And speed limit, so many learners failing on the speed limit when they don't know it is 20, but they think that is 30 mile in residential area.
Yeah.
So okay, so make sure you should check the speed limit sign on the beginning of the road or at the end of the road. Okay. And also you can check the repeat speed limit sign as well. So mostly if you're driving a long way in residential area but you can't find any speed limit sign, no humps on there, so national high speed limit is 30 in the residential area when you street light on both side or one side buildings over there. So mostly 30 mile per hour speed, but some occasion 20 is variable speed, so 40 is also variable speed. Okay, do you have any question?
Not so far, no.
All right. Okay then, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
whenever you're ready, you can start the engine, please.